Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Lisa, also known as Job Coach Germany, and I send you a warm welcome to my 34th career coaching drop-in session. Wow, so this week has been full of a lot of rain, thunderstorms, hot weather. So it's basically ups and downs, and these ups and downs of the weather always remind me of the ups and downs that those of you have that are currently searching for their ideal job. And I know that most of the times when you're thinking about that and thinking about relocating, for example, thinking about finding a new job, making up your mind what kind of job you want to do to fulfill your wishes, to fulfill your dreams, can look like a huge mountain that you have to climb. And with that being said, it can be, or it can look like, it can seem like it's such a huge mountain that you don't even want to start hiking and taking the first step towards your new career, especially when you're thinking about moving to Germany and coming here and really relocating, taking your family with you or leaving loved ones behind. And this can seem overwhelming. However, let me tell you, you are not alone here. And if you've been following me for quite some time, you know that you find a lot of resources on my profile. You can also find a lot of resources and get some more insights, especially on the German labor market and how to apply for jobs in Germany. If you sign up for my newsletter, you can do that through the link in my bio, or you go on my website, lisajans.com, and simply sign up for the newsletter to be up to date with the newest information on how to apply for your dream career here in Germany. And if you are already a step ahead or one step further and you already know what kind of career you're looking for, then I have an offer for you that might be of interest to some of you guys, because next week on Tuesday, I have a masterclass. I'm holding a masterclass on how to get invited to a job interview in Germany. And this masterclass starts on Tuesday at 5 p.m. It's roughly about an hour, and I will highlight the different aspects along the application process that are of interest to you in order to nail your application documentation, for example, and also then finally get invited to a job interview here in Germany. So, and if you have any questions with regards to that, the masterclass, you can find that on my website as well, or through the link in my bio. Just simply sign up for this free masterclass, and then I'll see you guys on Tuesday next week. So what actually happens when you have these ups and downs and you are in the process of searching for the right job? Well, networking is key in this position, right? So, and probably some of you have already started their networking. They have already started going through different job boards and platforms where to find jobs. And I know that this can, it just seems like a huge list of tasks that you have to do, because obviously we have more than 1,600 job boards out there. And for you, it is really important to narrow it down to what kind of platform or job board is interesting to you, with your expertise, within your field of interest, within your industry, right? And then it comes, the next step would be finding the right contacts within that industry, within your field of expertise. And maybe you've already had the chance to spread your wings and go to business socials or even online events to find new contacts, or even through partnerships that you've already had through during your current job or previous positions that you've held. Yeah, so always keep that in mind. Former colleagues of yours, former suppliers of yours, any customers that you've worked with. So these are the people that you should connect with on social media, something like LinkedIn, or what today's topic is, it's called what is Xing, or also known as crossing. So these professional social networks are really, really helpful for you to land that ideal job of yours, because obviously you are the expert in your field. So you know what is the topical status quo of the research, for example, who are your competitors, what are the people that your guys are working with, and all of these are really important for you, because these people are connections that might help you find and land your dream job here in Germany. Harsh is here. Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I'm talking about what is Xing, also known as crossing. So let's dive right into this topic. Well, basically what you need to know is that Xing was, yeah, so that's what we Germans say. Yeah, we Germans say Xing. And it was supposed to be like crossing, because that's how it's spelled. Yeah, you have the X and the ING. And it's kind of like crossing the path of other people. Yeah, so crossing the path to meet people. So it's not in a bad way, it's in a positive way. It's for you to extend your network. So basically, Xing is a competitor of LinkedIn, and it's really, both platforms are really, really similar with one another, and they are primarily used to manage your professional network and professional contacts. Okay, so and mainly in the German-speaking countries, that's where you find Xing. Okay, so what I always call, or what we in Germany call, the DACH area. DACH is a short version for DACH, so D for Germany, A for Austria, and CH for Switzerland. Okay, so these are the German-speaking countries, and this is where Xing is really popular, and especially with companies that are more local and not so much into global business. That's what they are focusing on, finding the right contacts and recruiting people through Xing. Okay, so what I always recommend the people that I'm working with is to not only have a LinkedIn profile, but also setting up your Xing profile. Okay, so, and it kind of works in the same way, but let's first, I want to give you a little bit of background. Yeah, so something that might be of interest to you, why you should use Xing for your job search. Yeah, so whatever career path you've chosen, Xing can help you get ahead. And there are currently 19 million people that are members, yeah, within Xing, on the Xing platform. And more than, so basically it's 16 million from Germany, 1.5 million from Switzerland, and 1.5 million from Austria. And you probably know, when you take a look at LinkedIn, there are 756 million users, yeah, that are using LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is basically really, really globally established, and all around the globe, you know how LinkedIn can help you, right? However, everybody that is thinking about moving and relocating to Germany and looking to find a job here should also be involved with Xing, okay? Just in order for you to extend the network even further, because some companies that are on LinkedIn, on Xing, are not on LinkedIn, okay? Or vice versa. Okay, so this happens. And this is something that I always see, especially with local companies. Okay, so if you're really looking into working with local companies here in Germany, then it's more likely that you will find them on Xing rather than on LinkedIn. Then again, you need to keep in mind, on LinkedIn, you can have your profile in whatever language that you want to have. And the same is valid for Xing as well. However, for example, for me, I have my profile on LinkedIn in English, and I have my Xing profile in German. And in German, so on Xing, because it's for the German-speaking countries, that's why have my profile in German. It wouldn't be an issue if I had it in English. This is how you can start. However, if you already have a little bit of knowledge of the German language, then you can set up your German profile on LinkedIn, on Xing. On LinkedIn, you can have both. Yeah, you can come up with several pages. So you can have a LinkedIn page that is in German, and you can have a LinkedIn page that is in English. And then whoever you're contacting, you can share your page either in English or the one in German. Okay. So but what I want to say is basically when you are going on the Xing platform, a lot of information is in German. You can always find the information in English as well. And obviously, if your browser translates everything, that's even easier for you. However, for you, it might be interesting to set up your profile on Xing as well in order to reach the companies that are mainly working on in a local area, okay? Especially if you already know where you want to go here in Germany, yeah? Where you want to live. So then I found a couple of statistics that might be of interest to you. So 47%, this is the largest percentage with regards to the career level, are professionals, yeah, or experienced people that are using the Xing platform. Okay, so this might be of interest to you, because obviously if you're just a career starter, so an entry level, there are 5% using that. 47% are already professionals that are experienced. Okay, and 18% are managers. So this is now for you to see, okay, so this is really an area where I can connect, because people that are like, if you are an experienced worker or professional, then obviously this is the right place for you to be, okay? Because recruiters also know that professionals are using this platform. Then the educational level is 35%, and this is the biggest percentile, are people that have a university degree. 23% have a vocational diploma, yeah, and 25% have secondary school, and 16% have high school, a high school diploma. So, and then let's take a look at the industry. Yeah, what kind of industries can you find on Xing? So basically there are service providers, or people that are working in the corporate world in industry, or media and consulting, IT, trade and service providers, also transport, pharma and construction. And the biggest percentile is 23%. And now listen to that, IT and trade service providers. Okay, so if you are a professional that is interested in working in the IT field, I know that many of you normally speak English when they are doing their jobs, right? So it's really normal in my eyes that you have a LinkedIn profile. However, you should not miss out on this Xing platform, because obviously you can spread or extend your network even further, especially for the recruiters who know that the biggest percentile with regards to the industry are people that are working in IT or trade services. Okay, so this is something that is definitely of interest to you, because if recruiters know that, that's where they're going, that's where they are looking for their staff. Yeah, so, and then basically what you can do with your Xing profile is everything that you can do on LinkedIn as well. So you have your personal profile, there are groups, there are discussion forums, there are events that you can participate in. And let's take a look at the different fees that you need to pay. So there's a basic membership that is free. Yeah. So, and with the basic membership, you can already do a lot of things. Okay. So first of all, I would always recommend for you, start with a basic membership. And then if you ever wanted to increase that, and, for example, send a private message to a person that is not a contact of yours yet, so you have not connected with that person yet, then you can think about going with a premium membership, okay? And then the premium membership has a fee of roughly between 6 to 10 euros, depending on what kind of interval you choose the billing to have, okay? And then something that is also really, really interesting is that Xing has special ambassadors, and a special ambassador program, which basically means that they have ambassadors that are holding local events, yeah, to promote different events or to have social networking, and they're using that as a business tool, okay? So this is of real interest to you guys, that they have ambassadors that are just there to organize these local events, yeah? And now you see, okay, the mindset is there again, German-speaking world, local companies and ambassadors that are organizing local events. Great. So this is even really helpful for you guys if you want to make new friends, if you want to get to know new people in your area, yeah, then you can think about that as well. So what are these ambassadors offering you during these events? Yeah, what kind of things are you doing and checking out? Where can you hang out? Maybe there's a report that somebody gives, or maybe you all go to an afternoon event, something like that, okay? Then other things that obviously these social platforms are important for when you are using them for your professional networks is you are growing together, yeah? So this network depends on its members, and basically the more members there are, the higher the value that is put in there, obviously. Then you can always stay up to date because they have news, yeah? So whenever I open up my Xing profile, first thing that I see is all of the news of the industry that I'm interested in, because obviously I can adjust that, what kind of news are most interesting to me. So staying up to date is something that is really important. And obviously something that is the most important to you guys is finding the right job, yeah? And here you can really dive into the details. So you can search for jobs like working from home, flexi time perhaps, or basically find a job that suits your needs, yeah? And so what do you need to do for that? Basically, you want to stay in touch with your colleagues, yeah, or people that you know, acquaintances. You want to attend local events or meetups, yeah. So, or then, for example, you want to discuss a wide range of topics and can dedicate yourself in forums, for example. Then you can read, obviously, the latest news. And for that, it's really interesting because you have specialist news, yeah, from over 30 industries. Then there are maybe interesting articles from Xing insiders or interviews with experts and debates and more. And whenever you attend one of these events and you see a really interesting report or a really interesting interview, why not connect with these people? Yeah, because obviously it sparks some joy or interest in you. So go for it. You never know what kind of contact might be of interest to you, who can actually help you land that dream job of yours. And Mentor is here again. Hi, long time no see. It's great that you're here. I'm talking about Xing today. So, and basically, what is the setup of this page? So basically, you open up Xing, and then you have your kind of like your dashboard, and then you have the overview of your network, so the people that you already know, then suggestions of people that you might know, or you can also see who within your network has recently connected with somebody else, because that might be of interest, because this person might be in your industry and this person has connected to another person that is an expert in your industry as well. So, oh, I didn't think about this person, so maybe I want to connect with them as well. Okay, so this is it. Then obviously you have messages, you can exchange messages. Then, but the messages, now you need to keep that in mind. You can only message one another if you are connected with the basic membership. Yeah, so the membership where you don't have to pay anything. Then obviously there is a job board, yeah, so something that we call in German Stellenmarkt, and this Stellenmarkt will help you find a job in your area. And then there is the events section, the news section, the groups section, then enterprises. Then we have something that is called campus, yeah, or the campus, and then there are business solutions. And basically when I open it up, then on the top I can see the news, yeah, and then I can categorize it into the news from my network, yeah, so something that from the people that I know, what have they posted, what are they involved with. Then the next section would be just simply news and groups, yeah, so what are the topical news that I've first of all set up that I was interested in, and what the groups that I'm involved with, that I'm a member of, what are they talking about currently. The third section would be your career, yeah, job and career section, and that's when new jobs pop up and new jobs are advertised, for example. And then also there is this section where I come up with my own posts, yeah, so this is not so much of interest to job seekers, because normally job seekers are not so much into posting, like active posting of different topics. However, people that are self-employed or that are job coaches, or just people that are, yeah, like people that are working in the marketing field of a specific company, these are the people that are posting, yeah. But I'm posting information for you guys. You can always see that on my different social media profiles, and this is the section basically where I can check my posts. And then something that is really, really interesting is that when you go through the job board of Xing, it is not only really interesting or helpful for you to find the jobs, but also that you can find out about the tasks that you're doing for the job, the money that you can earn with that job, what the requirements are for the job, and a lot more. Okay, so basically what you're having is you have a job board where you can look for topical advertised jobs, but also there is this area where you can type in the name, so basically your job title. Then you can type in what kind of area you are looking for a job, yeah. So for example, I am in Saxony-Anhalt, and this I would enter if I'm searching a job here, or if I want to go to Bavaria, then I type in Bavaria. If I want to go to Switzerland, I type in Switzerland. And then I can say what kind of degree I have. I can also say whether I'm experienced or not experienced, entry level, junior level, and so on. And then Xing will come up with a salary band, what I can expect of earning. So what is the minimum that this job title in this area earns, and what's the maximum, and what's the average. And basically the average, or the little optimal part in the middle, is something that that's the result from all of the things that you've typed in. So whether you're an entry level, professional, experienced, manager, and so on, and what kind of area, yeah. Because in Germany, you've probably known that, obviously in Germany, we don't have the same payment everywhere, yeah. It depends on what kind of area you're living, because obviously the living standard is different in different areas as well. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. But this is something that is really, really helpful when thinking about what kind of money you can earn. And this is also really helpful when you are applying for a job and you are supposed to tell in your cover letter your salary expectations, yeah. So when you find a job advertised, so, and this job ad says, please send your application, also stating the date when you can start, as well as your salary expectation to the email address, so on and so on. Then you can use Xing to find this information. Okay, so I would always recommend that you not only use one source, but you use several sources to find out the ideal amount that you can expect to earn. Okay, and always keep in mind the taxes that you will have to pay, because obviously when you are using these salary bands, they are most of the time before tax. Okay, so, and one more thing that this salary band is interesting for is basically when you are preparing for your job interview, because when you are preparing for your job interview, they will ask you what kind of money you are expecting, right? And this is how you can go about that to really get an idea, because obviously the people that I'm working with are from all over the globe, and they have completely different salary expectations, because obviously from their experience, from the things that they have, the countries where they have lived, the countries where they have worked. And this can be completely different from the standard of what you can expect to earn here in Germany. Yeah. So, and this is something that you need to keep in mind. So you cannot only use this platform Xing to extend your network or making new contacts, but also to search for jobs and prepare for the salary negotiation. Okay, so this is basically everything that I wanted to share with you guys today. If you have any more questions with regards to that, feel free to contact me. Yeah, so through my website, lisajans.com, you can book a discovery call with me, or simply I invite you to my free masterclass that is happening on Tuesday next week at 5 p.m. German time. Okay, and the masterclass, the free masterclass, is about how to get invited to a job interview in Germany. Okay, so I hope to see many of you guys there. Secure your spot for free on my website, lisajans.com. Thank you and bye-bye. See you next week.